Hiya, and welcome back to Cleaved, the game that teaches us that we get sidetracked very easily. The most recent cause of our let me bring this up a little bit. The most recent cause of our sidetracking being the king's nipples. Why? I don't know, but here we are. Anyways, let's just hop right in. The fucking king's nipples. His fucking nipples. As I leave the bathroom, a new scent fills the air and I make my way downstairs to the kitchen. I have seen them. It's literally on my laptop. It's literally on my computer right now. A wooden tray is set on top of the counter. A hearty bowl of soup is accompanied by some thick slices of bread and thinly sliced meat. Something I certainly can't complain about. I take a slice and dip it into the soup. Its heavenly rich and creamy tomato flavor hits my taste buds as the bread perfectly soaks up the flavor. It does! I try another bite, this time with the meat. The salty flavor of beef sends me overboard and I scarf the rest of the food down quickly. Pleased with the meal, I lean back from the countertop, which is when I see a bundle of fabrics next to the tray. There's a little note placed on top. Hope you enjoy the food. Thought you could use a new set of clothes to be comfortable in. Well, isn't he thoughtful? I grab the set of clothes and make my way back upstairs. Head into the bedroom and change into the attire he left me. A comfortable short-sleeve linen shirt and a slightly large pair of shorts now decorate my frame. No, because look at this place. Look at this place. It is nice. Don't say roaches, it'll scare Lug away. Oh, gee. Don't worry, Lug, there's no roaches. No roaches. This is not a room. This is a fucking apartment. I'm sorry. There's no ROACHES in this fucking apartment. None of them ROACHES. There's a bee. Comfortable. From an open window, I'm able to see that the sun is setting. I can't imagine there will be much more scheduled for the day, so I take a short walk over to the study and look at the book collection. The Great Journey Over the Iced Waters. Seems interesting. Happy with my choice, I lay down in bed. It was much more comfortable than I'd expected, especially the pillows. After positioning them in a decorative manner, I lie back on them and open the first page of the book. The Story of the Great Journey. It looks like a fuck pad. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I am going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep it shut. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm not going to say anything about that. You know what? I'm gonna push it in the server what I was going to say. Fucking right. I'm pushing it in the server. In NSFW general. Alright, I just posted it. Yeah. The start of the Great Journey. I read through the first handful of pages and my eyes wander over to the window. While the sun's descent grows faster, I drift into peaceful sleep. As the sun rises, I feel the light slip through the cracks of the window and carefully reach my face. While I would love to sleep in a little longer, this disturbance made that impossible. I slowly swing my legs over the side of the bed and sit up while stretching my arms. As I fully extend myself, I hear a loud thud hit the floor. I jump and open my eyes to see it was my book of choice. That just lost its place. Damn! I sigh, but try not to let it bother me too much. I stand up and make my way downstairs to the counter for some water. My eyes are half shut and I scratch my side. Good morning! I jump out of my skin. Startled by the wolf waiting in the living room. Have you just been waiting here the entire time? Well, yeah, we have stuff to do today, remember? Brought you breakfast, too. I appreciate his offer, and I look over to the dining table to see a large bowl placed there. Okay, well, don't scare me next time. I nearly had a heart attack. Pff, no, you didn't. Your heartbeat wasn't fast enough for that. Hey, Calder. That was his name. That was his name. That was his name. I know. I saw Spider Lyle. I got the name wrong. I forgot his name. It's Calder. I fixed it. I just fixed it. Pff, no, you didn't. Your heartbeat wasn't fast enough for that. How did you? I have really good hearing. He immediately follows it with the wink as my cheeks turn a slight pink. I turn my back and I look into the bowl. I hope you enjoy it. It's a particular favorite breakfast of mine. It was a mix of oats, milk, berries, and honey? I don't hold back from grabbing a large scoop with my spoon before taking a bite. My tongue is immediately painted with spectacular flavor, as seems to be a pattern now. I wasn't expecting much out of this combination, but I'm so glad I was proven wrong. It's delicious! Next to the bowl is a stein with the red liquid in it. I raise it to my lips and take a sip. The sweet flavors of berries filling my mouth. I have to stop myself from downing the whole cup in one go. I thought you might like that. It's a juice we make with locally sourced berries. Are these produced by Fisk's factories? Hiya. They are indeed. Well, he's a genius, that's for sure. Some of the best juice I've had. He lets out another laugh as he continues to watch me eat. As I'm finishing it up, he makes his way over. So I've decided that I'm personally going to accompany you today. Do you still have that money that Heim left you? Yeah, I placed it on the nightstand after you left. So what's on the agenda? Right now we're waiting for an acquaintance of mine to show up. When he arrives, we're going to head into the city center. Oh, I see. Is it the same one I was found in? No. I'm going to take you to one of the quieter ones. It's got some desirable merchant stores up there. It'll make you fit in with Heim's team really well, that, and...
Music is our religion.
I think it'll be a good trial run to see how the public will feel about you.
Harmony. The dance floor is our church.
It'll be the first time I'm walking the streets after the results of my trial were broadcast to the whole kingdom. I can't fucking speak today. As such, a part of me can understand his hesitations. We'll be fine, right? Well, yeah, I'll be with you. I know he didn't mean it the way it sounded, but I blush again anyway. He can be really sweet sometimes. Wait, hold up. Hold up! But yes, we'll also have...
has been discovered!
Rannoch? Oh, not Rannoch. Aw. Yup, there's new redeems. And aw, not Rannoch. As he says this, the door opens, and a very tall wolf steps into the apartment. He has attire somewhat similar to Calder, though unlike the king, his clothing highlights a slightly formed set of abs. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't impressed. After all, a physique like that must take some serious time and dedication to form. Well, speak of the devil. Bryn, this is Gear. My eyes wander up and I see his face is covered by a metallic visor. He looks at the king and then back to me. After a pause, he finally removes the visor so we have a chance to see his face. It's good to see you, your highness. Oh, come on, Gear. I don't need you kissing my ass, too. Is he not?
I still believe that these people are definitely Scottish.
That's also what I'm thinking. No, he knows my situation and he's happy to treat me as I've requested. I see. Well, human, I hope you haven't caused too much trouble for our citizens. I'm sorry to have to drag you into another mission so soon, Gear. I know you just got back and it's not really fair. It's okay, Calder. I got enough rest last night. So, he's my charge? That's right. The council wants you to monitor him. That also includes protecting him if things get a little rough. By your orders. Bryn, can I suggest wearing your attire from yesterday? It's rather cold out for someone with no fur. Right? With a nod, I head back up the stairs and find the pile of clothes I'd left behind from before my shower. After quickly slipping my shorts off and folding them, I put on my outfit. Fucking right. I opt to carry my lab coat as opposed to fully wearing it, just until I get the chance to see how cold it could be. Before I make my way downstairs, I overhear Calder telling Gear about today's plans. I want to take him to the quieter market square on the east side. After recent events, Skjold confirmed that there hasn't been a huge amount of people there, so I think it'd be perfect to see how some of the citizens react. Yeah, that's smart. I know the council's judgment is law and all, but it's been way too long since we've had a decision like this. There's no telling how it'll go over, really. Exactly. It'll probably take most of the day, but we can always cut it short if things go awry. Seriously, though, just like that? Heim finds out he might be brainy and just offers him a spot? Brother, I was just as surprised as you were to hear it. If it had been Fisk or any other members of the council, I'd be less shocked. But no, he just took it as it was and wanted to put him to the test. I mean, I'm not going to complain. We can certainly take something away from this. After all, if the humans even half as smart as Heim expects, we might see some serious developments around here. I know. I'm really hoping this is our break, brother. Gear goes silent, and I delay my descent down the stairs to not interrupt him. My footsteps betray me, and the wolves flick their heads over to the stairs. Sorry it took me a while to get myself all sorted. Are we ready to go? We'll discuss it later, Calder. Your chambers later? Agreed. The two share a whisper before answering my question. We quickly assemble and head out the door, and I fail to take my eyes away from Gear. The wolf slips his mask back over his eyes. I'm sorry, Gear, was it? If you don't mind me asking, how come you've got your mask back on? The wolf looks to me, but turns away and picks up the pace, setting some serious distance between us. Please don't take offense to that, Bryn. He never really shows himself in public. You ever find yourself in privacy with him, he's quite the talker. I can understand that, but I don't always like talking to strangers either. We both laugh before picking up the pace to catch up with our muscular escort. I'm led to the castle's main gate, watching the inner wall lift it so we could pass through. I'm shocked as I see the wolf easily grab and pick up a large spear from a nearby guard station. Before I can say anything, Calder catches my eyes going wide. You can never be too careful. I can imagine. Now that our group is adequately equipped to handle whatever situation we may find ourselves in, the three of us begin our journey into town. Oh? While Gear scouts ahead, Calder guides me on a personal level, telling me little details here and there about certain streets and businesses. When I was younger, I wasn't really allowed to venture into the city that much, unless I had a lot of personal guards dedicated to watching over me. But there were a few times I was quick enough to sneak out before anyone was able to realize I'd left. Me, Gear, and Skjold used to raise hell in the streets. Oh yeah? So what would three rebellious wolves get up to? For instance, see this bakery? Oh, I remember that. I doubt he would have put it in his report, but he took me there for something to eat after we'd visited Vern. I get a chance to see just how well enjoyed the bakery is. There's already a line out the door and partially flowing down the street. It's surprising for how early it is. Our mothers were very strict on how much sugary treats we could have as pups. So if we snuck out, we would always visit the bakery. A really sweet old lady called Sauma used to work there. Or used to work here. She spoiled us rotten by giving us free cakes and had us try new recipes she was working on. Aww. Even Gear cannot contain his excitement, as I see his tail wag when I look forward. There was one time where we had just finished studying for the day. We were due to only have a short break before we had to come home for a feast my father was hosting. Now, it was the first time Skjold and his family were to join us for one of these meals. His mother had gone over the top, making sure he was all clean and well groomed. So when we came to our regular spot, we saw that Amma had made a fresh batch of cream cakes to try. We explained we had to eat while we walked because we didn't have much time. Being the sweet lady that she was, she let us take them. He can't help but snicker between his words as the memory comes back to him. We didn't even get 3 steps away from the bakery before the big oaf managed to somehow trip over his own 2 feet. That sounds adorable. I can't help but laugh, picturing such a large wolf falling over so quickly. Oh my, did we get a scolding. We came back to the feast with Skjold, his chest all matted and stuck together with sugary cream pressed into it. There was simply no time to get him washed up. Good times. It certainly sounds like it. Say, what happened to this Amma person? She's still around, actually. Her daughter took over the shop a few years ago when she got a bit too old to manage it by herself. Okay. Bye. I should really go see her sometime soon. I haven't had that much time since being made king and all. I nod as we round the corner and find ourselves in the same square I'd been in the other night. Despite supposedly being one of the quieter markets, it was still producing a lot of foot traffic. Raj, I continue to follow the two and take in the new surroundings. We're heading directly into one of the lanterns that I had first seen when I arrived in the district. As I try to give it an inspection, Calder goes to say something to Gear. Try to eavesdrop, but a loud bumping sound pulls my attention away. Following it, I see an older man leaving a particular area of the market. He's doing his best to run after a barrel that's rolling across the courtyard. Looking at his posture, it's evident that the older man must have some kind of back issue that's preventing him from catching up with the barrel. Acting quickly, I take off, running quickly over to the barrel. I get ahead of it so that I'm able to stop and allow the man to catch up. Are you alright? Are you all okay there, sir? Finally able to catch his breath, the old man stretches his back to look up at me. I have to take a step back as I'm nearly caught by his horns. Thank you so much, young man! I'm afraid this buck ain't so young anymore. That's quite alright. Can I give you a hand to carry this back to where it belongs? Takes a second to look at me. As his eyes adjust, he jumps ever so slightly as he sees who I am. Oh my! You're that mysterious fellow who was put in front of the council! I can tell he's a bit intimidated. My reputation precedes me, I see. I am, and I do apologize if I've given you a fright there. It's alright. I just wasn't expecting to see you of all people. I pick up the barrel and carefully raise it up. It's heavy, but I can manage it well enough to follow through. Well, the council did reach a decision that allows me to have some freedoms, but it was an exchange that I would do what I could to help this kingdom. It was just a good start as any for me. It surprises me to see him taken aback as he is, but he leads me back over to his stall. I set the barrel in a bay and watch him attach a set of straps to the row of the barrels. That shouldn't be going anywhere now. Thank you again, young man. It isn't a problem, sir. You take care now. As I turn around and begin to leave the area, I can feel the amount of eyes on my back. It feels different to how it did on my first day inside these walls, though. It doesn't feel like a harsh pressure like it did then. Now it just feels like people with genuine curiosity are trying to look into me and my decisions. And what might you be doing, human? I turn around to see who raised a question about my actions, only to be met with a very familiar face. Skjold! A little bit overwhelmed with emotion, I'm unable to restrain myself from launching at the guy. I'm doing my best to give the pudgy wolf a hug. Oi, calm it down, you weirdo! You forget I have an appearance to hold up. Despite him trying to be serious, he lets out a chuckle. As I let go and step back, I apologize to him. I'm sorry, man. The past few days have been a real headache for me. You've been a really big help smoothing things over and making sure I've been treated fairly. I'm pretty happy to see you. Well, I'm happy to see you, too. What are you doing over here by yourself? Shouldn't you have an escort with you? You're not wrong. I was with the king and that gear guy, but I ended up walking off to help an old man working in the stall behind me. Seriously? What'd you help him with? Some runaway barrel that he couldn't catch up to. I only ran over to make sure it didn't roll too far away from home, and then I brought it back. I see. Is that a problem? You don't seem too enthused. No, it's not that. I've been keeping my ear to the ground to see what the general opinion is about you. A lot of the opinions have been mixed so far, but nothing too serious. But after doing your good deed of the day, I'm just wondering how they're going to change. Dad and I wasn't sure if I believed you at first, seeing how twig-like those arms of yours are. Hey! I gave the wolf a slight jab in the arm, but I stopped when I realized what he's telling me. Damn, people are talking about me that quickly? Bryn, you're the talk of the whole kingdom, mate! Of course people are going to be gossiping! As we continue to talk, we hear a rush of footsteps behind us. Bryn, where the hell did you run off? Why the hell did you run off? Gear stands there with a neutral stance and silent expression. I can feel anger in his eyes through the helmet. He may have run off, but he's already improving your appearance with the civilians, King Calder. Wolf didn't even take a second to look at who was next to me. But as the awareness kicked in, he soon realized. Skjold, it's good to see you. It's good to see you too, brother. Gods, I can't remember the last time all three of us were in the same place. It has been a long time. Too long, in fact. We'll need to remedy that soon. Agreed. Now do tell me, how is our guest improving relations? Well, while you were entertaining Gear in a one-sided conversation, our human here helped some old geezer who was struggling to catch a runaway barrel. With those arms? What's wrong with my arms? What's wrong with our arms? What the fuck? Not all of us can be fucking... Not all of us can be amicus. Not all of us can be fucking... Not all of us can be a furry visual novel love interest. What the hell? With those arms? I let out a gasp of disbelief and Skilled can't help but burst out in laughter. I'm left annoyed at the fact that all three of them thought the same thing. How dare! At least I haven't had my chest plastered in cream cake. He stopped laughing, and now it's Calder's turn to laugh. Gear was trying not to do the same. You told him? It was just one time!
Not all of us can have huge muscles, huge tits, or huge dicks.
Damn it! We take a minute to catch our breaths as we begin walking away. So, what are you guys up to? We're on our way to Heim's favorite tailor shop. Oh, really? How did that end up happening? Please, you know how eccentric Heim is. Don't get me wrong, I'm in full agreement that Bryn here is indeed in need of some new clothes. Getting something casual go against his uptight and boastful attitude. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Axel. Don't worry about it. It was fucking hilarious what you said. It was hilarious. It was funny as hell what you said. What you said was funny as hell. So, don't apologize for it. It was funny. I just was not expecting you to say that. But it was funny. So don't worry too much about it. It's hilarious. Seriously? Forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but he certainly didn't appear that way in the trial hall. And if we're talking about eccentric, don't even get me started on Njord, was it? Skilled lets out a laugh. You're certainly getting better at saying our names, Bryn. And you certainly wouldn't be wrong about Njord in any social space. But Heim's a different beast entirely. He has this belief system that's like, since he's been through a lot of adversity, it shouldn't matter how his outward appearance is. That's what he thinks anyways. But the same can't be said for his associates. Because they're still in the early years of their careers, Heim sees them as reflections of himself. As such, he feels as if they need to do everything they can to meet his expectations. It was. It truly was. God damn it! Which includes dressing up to a standard. Don't get us wrong, Bryn. We respect him immensely, but he just has a way of going about certain things that we don't always agree with. At least this time he's covering the expenses out of his own pocket. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous now. You'll do fine, mate. Put it this way. Things don't exactly go perfect on the... I'm more than happy to see if Sayor can take you in under his wing. Well, I appreciate it. It just now dawned on me that we didn't even ask what Skilled was doing out here. Say, what are you up to now, Skilled? Any plans for the day? I'm lucky it's been a bit quieter today. Been a bit of a quieter day today. I've had a lot of well-needed time to go over some reports and investigations with some recent events. So, I'll more than likely be getting back to those after I leave you lot to go about your business. It's not long after he says that when we finally make it to the tailor. I'm pleasantly surprised by the size of the shop, and I'm very interested in what types of clothing I may find once I step inside. Can we get some Kingdom Hearts cosplay? Well, I appreciate your company as always, brother. I'll send word once we're finished for the day. See if we can fit a drink in. Hear, hear. As I watch him walk away, Calder gives the shop's door a knock. A few seconds go by, and I hear the sound of a latch turning for the doors to open. I'm all the more surprised to see a rather short wolf answer the door. King Calder, darling! Hang on, I want to do a specific voice for this character. I want to do a specific voice for this character.
Oh shit, I forget to put in huge ass after I made that joke.
Okay. I want to do a very specific voice for this character, and I need to figure out how to do that voice. Okay. Oh, god damn it. Turn my phone off. Do I put it into sleep mode? Hang on, let me see if I can get it. King Calder, darling, how are you? It's good to see you too, Sauma. How is the kingdom's best tailor doing this fine day? Oh, you're just saying that. Of course I am. I'm literally the one who just said it. Gods, this boy, always with such a sense of humor. In case it wasn't clear, I'm trying to imitate Edna Mode from The Incredibles. I'm trying to imitate that voice. Now, come, I've already cleared the shop for you. Gear proceeds to go first, standing next to the doorway and places his spear into the ground with the tip raised up to the sky.
Pops is doing the hey bitch voice.
He'll be standing guard, and after you. I thank him as I step through the doorway and am immediately taken the amount of fabrics and clothing that decorate the many walls of the shop. Oh, wow. Now, I know Haim told me I'd be working on a special client today, but I had no idea this is what you would look like. It startles me how quiet she is as she effortlessly sneaks past and circles around me. She then begins asking a bunch of questions. So, what are you, honey? I have never seen anyone like you. Are you big for your species? Compared to the king here, you certainly don't look it, but who am I to judge? You're also quite on the skinny side, aren't you, darling? Not that I'm complaining, as it's going to make my job a lot easier adjusting the fits. Calder, what do you have him on food-wise? I look at the wolf in a mini panic, as I was not expecting this many questions. Sauma, this is Bryn, and he's a human.
No gapes. King. No gapes.
No capes. Calder, no capes. I'll leave him to answer some of the other questions, but I will share that we're supplying him with the same food that we all eat from the cooks in the castle. Hello there, and yes, everything Calder said is correct. And I'd say I'm average, if not a little above average. Last I checked, I was 6 foot. God damn it, I'm shorter than him. But I don't really know what that means, honey. But I'll take your word for it. No crowns. No crowns, Calder. No crowns. You know what happens to people who wear crowns? They die. No crowns. But I'll take your word for it. As for you being on the skinny side, don't worry about that for too long. These cooks know how to make a very hearty meal. I feel like I'm just... Should I just give her a Chelsea voice? Should I just give her a Chelsea voice? Because I'm struggling to do the Edna Mode voice. So should I just give her the Chelsea voice? Because I have that one. I've had that down. I've had that voice down for like 8 years at this point. Should I? No, keep the Edna Mode voice. I don't know if I'm doing good with the Edna Mode voice. She gives me a smile as she proceeds to walk over to a more open section of the shop, giving me instructions to follow her. Now, these clothes you've got on are clearly too baggy for you. So if you wouldn't mind placing those to the side for me, I'd like to get some accurate measurements. I blush a slight bit, but do as she requests, setting my coat, shirt, and trousers off to the side. Takes me a second to untie my shoes, but they're quickly kicked off as well. Sensing my shyness, she did an amazing job of getting the measurements done as quickly as possible. Okay, so, as it turns out, she already has a pair of trousers in my size. She goes to fetch them quickly so I can cover up my half-naked body. She then takes out some pen and paper and makes a record of sizes. Now, I'll have some time on my hands to create some more clothing for you very soon. So take this part in the meantime. I'll have other garments delivered to the castle for you. She takes me over to a section of tops. Now, most who come through my doors have enough fur on them that they never have to have some form of top to keep warm. You, however, almost definitely need one. She says that last bit as she looks me up and down. After she travels through the racking with her fingers, she pulls one out that she seems to be a particular fan of. Oh, this! The wolf goes on to tell me that this specific shirt is a dual-layered tunic. Comes with a light white linen shirt underneath it to give it extra warmth and some depth, while the outer layer is a forest green color with gray accents accompanying it. We're fucking cosplaying as Link, Legend of Zelda. She convinces me to try it on.
I still didn't forget that our ass is going to be used as drums in a later chapter. I don't care what anybody says, I know it's going to happen sooner or later.
I'm sorry, it's the face that she's making. It's the face that she's making. It's a face. You're the hero of Hyrule now. Although the long sleeves rolled past my hands, I'm very satisfied with how it looks in the shop mirror. Now, darling, I'll obviously adjust the sleeves for you, but give them a grab and pull them up like this. Sauma grabs one sleeve and pulls it high enough that the wrist cuff is just resting on my elbow. I do the same for the other and give myself another look in the mirror. Now, this is where my dual layering goes into effect. Depending on the time of year and the climate, you'll be able to roll these sleeves however you want it, so you'll be comfy no matter the weather. Sauma, this is amazing. Oh, I'm not done yet, honey. I'll begin work on the adjustments to that tunic very shortly, aside from getting it to fit you right. I need to add the royal seal to it so that you know and the people know that you are currently allied to the royal council. Calder, have you given the boy a cloak? No, I have. Then a cloak you shall have. Calder, take the boy into the parlor. I just finished brewing tea. As quick as ever, she shifts upstairs, taking the garments with her. I look back to Calder, and he waves his paw for me to follow him. I quickly take a seat in the parlor area that Sauma had mentioned. He then grabs 2 cups from the side and pours the both of us some tea. I probably should have warned you about Sauma before we arrived. Don't get me wrong, I would have appreciated it, but she's lovely! We both chuckle and take a sip of our drinks. It's pleasant and not at all overpowering. I kind of want to see if we can pick up the blend from somewhere. We're probably going to be here a little while. Yeah, I think so too. Something tells me that seamstress of yours has a habit of getting carried away with big projects, eh? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Sauma loves her fashion. Haim actually financed her entire venture into setting up her own store before he was even part of the council. She's made his money back and more since, especially after introducing her as the newly appointed personal tailor to the royal family. Oh wow, so does that mean she made a huge majority of our outfits? Yes, you'd indeed be correct. Damn, she must have done a real good job. I have to know, how long did she spend on Njord's outfit? Not to knock the rest of you, but he was certainly the most outstanding one of the lot of you. Just the one? Took over a week just to prepare the damned thing. Oh god! He goes over the ridiculous preparations that she had to take in order to make sure Njord's outfit was made to perfection, and we couldn't help but laugh. You know, I really like that color you two picked for the tunic. Oh yeah? Is there any particular reason why? Sauma makes all of her dyes by hand, and she sources the ingredients to make them from other local businesses across Oxheimer. She actually happened to get a particularly nice dye for my favorite flower. You have a favorite? Really? Now, I know my dashing good looks and rugged appearance might make you think otherwise, but I can be quite suave when I need to be. You'll have to show me more of that side sometime. I'm curious what the smooth-talking king sounds like. Oh, hush you. But back to what I was saying. See the blue color my garments have? Sauma gets it for her fabrics from the humble bluebell. Ooh, that sounds pretty. Is there any particular reason why you like that one so much? Coincidentally, it was my mother's favorite. She had such good taste in botanicals.
His favorite is Winks.
Isn't that all furry visual novel love interests, though? Do you have any family in the picture? Not in regards to my parents, no. My mother died of an illness when I was younger. As you've probably been able to surmise, my father recently passed away. That's why I've taken the throne. When my father was busy with his diplomatic meetings and various other events, I could always rely on my uncle to be there for me. I guess you could say he's always been like a second father to me. Oh god, is the uncle going to turn into the antagonist? The two of you seemed very close from the few interactions I've seen so far, but now that you say it though, I am curious about one more thing. Oh yeah? What would that be? Skilled and Gear, what's the connection between you guys? I've noticed that you keep calling each other brother. No, they're not my actual brothers. Those two are a little older than me, but their families have been strong figures in the Wolven community since before they were born. From a young age, they have both expressed interest in doing some form of work for the royal family. Be that serving on the council and the military, so long as there was a place for them. They've more than earned their place since, but my uncle thought it would be a wise idea for them to oversee my personal training.
Wolf dick pics, wolf feet pics, and Edna Mode voice.
Fuck. Thank you. Thank you, Amethyst. Thank you. I was kept separate from a lot of the training activities when I was younger. That's not to say I didn't get certain things like education or anything, but when it came to stuff like combat, certain members of the then council intervened in my participation. They worried that it wouldn't be a good look if the future heir to the throne was injured before he was ready.
And wolf ass.
And wolf ass. Yeah, wolf ass. But Sayor not wanting me to fall behind set up a training group just for me. So those two would go off and learn from the professionals, then come back and teach me the things they'd learned. It's thanks to those two that I know how to fight, use weapons, and Gear even taught me how to hunt. Wasn't always easy though. They used to be much bigger than me back in the day, so it made the ass kickings I would get in training be even more brutal. But it was worth it in the end when the council agreed that I was finally ready. I felt I had cemented myself in the pack. Cemented. Your uncle seems like a really smart guy, Calder. I'm happy to hear you have someone like that looking out for you, even if he did literally throw you to the wolves. So I'm guessing you hang around those two so often. So I'm guessing hanging around with those two so often must have really brought you all together? Yeah, we've been inseparable since. Again, they're not technically my brothers. We're so close that I might as well consider them family. It's at this moment that I finish my tea and set my cup to the side. Calder does the same shortly after me. How about you? Any family back home? No, not really. Never actually met my parents. I ended up bouncing around a lot as a kid from place to place before I was finally able to settle down in some quaint university town in the countryside. I'm sorry to hear that, Bryn. Can't imagine that being easy for a child. Nah, don't worry about it too much. I was a resilient kid after all. Well, that much is clear. How about you tell me what this university town is? I go on to tell Calder what I remember about my life in that town. The two of us share a silent agreement not to pry into the details my mind is hazy on. Instead, we enjoy our ability to talk in private about the nicer things in our lives. Oh, so the town itself is used to support the scholars who are living there for a time? Exactly! You bring interest with us, which is beneficial to business owners there too. It's not the same for everyone, but I'm someone who tries to support local businesses whenever possible. The coastal town's local trade spots would receive plenty of me in exchange for coffee, clothes, whatever I really need. I see. Were your people happy with this exchange? You're always going to get a handful of people that will complain about exchanges like this, but a lot of the time that's only a very small minority. People I interacted with on a frequent basis were more than happy to have me and my colleagues living there. Huh. Something the matter? You've just got me thinking is all. Even though I'm king, it feels like there isn't a lot that I can do right now, because of how bad the political climate can be with other nations. I've been toying with multiple different ideas on how we can go about brokering some kind of peaceful agreement between our people. Are you thinking about opening up one of the universities?
Imagine waking in a Wolven village and all you see is this.
Like, if things go well, would it be possible that someone not from these lands could come here as a scholar? I'm certainly not opposed to it. I'm thinking it could be a way of easing the idea of opening our borders to different kingdoms for them to come and experience the Wolven society. But at the back of my mind, I feel as if potential drawbacks of this idea could outweigh the positives. See, I'd like to help where possible, but I haven't really been told why these tensions are so high. I know there are some nations that are concerned over you guys taking the throne, but that surely can't be the only reason you guys are nearly going to war, right? He goes to say something, but he stops himself, and his mouth is hanging agape for a slight moment. He must be seriously contemplating on whether or not he's in a position to share such a detail with me. Before I'm given a chance to hear it, though, a loud shout echoes from the floor above. It's finished! Sauma comes down the stairs as fast as her legs will allow her to, anyway. Okay. She has my clothes draped over her arm, and she rushes them over to drop them into my waiting hands. Please go try these on immediately. I want to make sure I've got the right adjustments. I'm shoved over to the fitting room once again, and I strip back down to my undergarments to put the new outfit on. My masterpiece! The trousers are the perfect length, and the tunic, while a little baggy, was just how I liked it. I step out and walk in front of a mirror to see the full effects for myself. To both Sauma and Calder's interest, I'd say the outfit as a whole looks really good. I must say, I simply outdid myself here. I can certainly attest to that. You wear those clothes well, Bryn. Thank you, this already feels a lot better. I'm unable to remove the smile from my face as I walk over to the front door to grab my shoes. As I walk back over to the two, Sauma grabs the stool and climbs it to get it to about the same height that I am. I raise my arms per her instructions and put them out to my sides. She then puts on the finishing touches. Calder comes over with a large black cloak and carefully drapes it around my shoulders, and Sauma connects the metallic latch around my neck to hold it in place. The fur on the back of the coat already begins to work its magic by warming me up from the shop's cool climate. Yet, just as I think she's done, she grabs a leather fixture and straps it over my shoulder to wrap around my body. Now, with this leather brace, not only are you going to have a bit of extra protection on you, but there's multiple pockets on it for you to store your valuables. This is amazing! Thank you so much, Lady Sauma. Oh, please, darling. I'm not fancy enough for a title like that. You just enjoy my work, and if you need more, you know who to come to. Now, shall we discuss payment? I give her a nod and return to the parlor, grabbing the pouch that I set down previously. We decide that I'll need more than one set of clothing, so she begins a new order to prepare more over the next few days. It's during this time that she also gets a look at my particular choice of undergarments and socks. She must be curious about their design and what they are used for. So I explain to her the functions of each piece. I see. We don't want those dainty paws of yours to be damaged now, do we? I'm confident I'll be able to get those organized for you, Bryn. For now, enjoy the clothing you have, and I will have one of my boys deliver these to you at the castle when you're done. After she finishes taking my final measurements, me and Calder make our way to the door. We thank her once again as we step out to see the ever-patient Gear. Thank you for standing guard, old friend. Our business here for today is done. I'd like to return to the castle as soon as possible so that you can be debriefed and so I can give you that long overdue recovery. Gear simply nods at the order and begins to march back through the market square. Thank you for joining us today, Calder. I know you didn't have to, but I do appreciate the extra company to get all of this sorted. It isn't a problem, Bryn. I actually really enjoyed our chat. Me too! I take a step closer to Gear, look up at him, and give him a soft whisper. I know you're only here because you've been ordered to, but thank you for keeping watch, Gear. He looks down at me and gives me a reassuring nod. It's hard to tell what he's really feeling with that mask obscuring his eyes, though. However, before we get a chance to enjoy this moment, the two wolves seem distracted by something. Looking towards the town, I see people in the market square shifting about quite rapidly. How come everyone is running? If it's what I think it is, it's not going to be good. Gear going ahead. I'm going to take Bryn someplace safe. Wolf is cut off by the sound of a trumpet clearing off in the distance. Damn it! Calder, what's happening? We have a specific sound for when a riot is about to break out. Bryn, listen carefully. He turns his head back to Gear and gives him a nod, to which I watch the masked wolf run away. Go back to Sauma's and stay in her shop. It'll be safe. I'll come back to get you as soon as we have this fight under control. You got that? Don't worry about me. You just go and get the situation under control.
Me, gives the MC a condom. MC, what's this for? Me, you'll see wings.
He gives me a nod before he turns on his heels and chases after his companion. Now left on my own, I do as the wolf says and quickly make my way back to the shop. It would appear that my luck is unfortunately taking a turn for the worse. Despite doing my best to get back to the shop, the front entrance is being swarmed by a crowd of civilians. Seems like they were either trying to leave the district all at once or demanding more information from the guards as to what's going on. Oh no! Oh no! We're trapped! Either way, I'm stuck in the middle of it as the claustrophobia starts setting in. Out of nowhere, something tugs at the back of my cloak just hard enough to shift my balance and I tumble into an alleyway behind me. Almost didn't recognize you then, stranger. Huh! Rather quickly, the stranger forces me against the wall, a paw covering my mouth. Ah, fuck. It's Fraser. Come now, is that any way to treat someone who tried to save your life? As his face comes into view, I can see a familiar shade of orange decorate the green lining of my captor's cloak. Now, if I move my paw away, you're going to do something stupid. I shake my head and the stranger promptly removes his paw from my face. So, you must be the ever-dashing and handsome rogue Fraser the Bandit? Why, yes. Yes, I would be. There's an aura of smugness emanating off of him, and I'm left to ponder why he's here. You know, I was actually hoping I would get to see you again. You've been the talk of the town. Everywhere I go, there's some form of new gossip or stories being shared about you and what you might be up to. Oh yeah, well at the end of the day, talk is just talk too, right? Which is why I wanted to see for myself. I'm more than happy to share, but I don't think you're going to get the answers you want. Gonna take a rough guess that you don't really know what a human is. Oh, me? You'd be completely right, but if you're someone who helps a lot of people, you build yourself a lot of connections. And I think a good friend of mine might actually have some know-how of your kind.
Where the hell was he during the last few months?
His last statement intrigues me. Up until now, it seemed like my luck was beginning to run dry. Hearing that this fox may know someone that can help me almost sounds a bit too good to be true. Is that right? Well then, where can I find this friend of yours? You won't. He lets out a chuckle and leans back against the wall to an adjacent building. He's set up outside the walls in the old town. Not only would you have no guide to get you there, I don't personally see you having many freedoms for traveling at the moment, huh? As much as I hate to admit it, the fox did make a good point. Listen, they're going to be busy for a few hours trying to deal with that riot, so how about you humor me? I'll take you to his tavern, buy you a pint, and bring you right back here once you're all finished up. Sound good? While I do contemplate refusing his offer, if there's even a slight chance someone knows about humans, then I have to try. Screw it, at the very least I'll be somewhere safe from the riots. Quick thinking. Wouldn't expect anything less from a scholar. Ah, fuck. I decide to play it cool, not wanting to seem desperate. That's a nice outfit you got there, pal. That for anything important? Yeah, as part of the conditions for me to go free, I have to do some work for the council. Let me guess. Haim's your new boss, isn't he? How did you... He's the only one I can think of who would make you get a brand new outfit just to get all sweaty after a long day's work. Our entire walk mostly consisted of us passing through back streets and the occasional garden. Eventually, we reach another alleyway blocked off by a brick wall. Wait, where are we going from here? He plunges his knife into a gap and lifts it, popping the grate from its hole and pushing it to the side. Oh, well, that's lovely. Is this how you get a... Oh, well, that's lovely. This is how you get around as undetected as you do? And he strikes gold. But let me give you this as a warning. If you even consider telling the guards about these underground passageways, I'll turn this knife to your neck. The previous sarcasm and the smugness dissipates, making sure his message is sent across clearly. I assure him that I understand the gravity of his threat. However, just as quickly as attitude changed, it changes back to the fox's more calm and collected demeanor. He informs me of the specific sewer path we're going to be taking. Supposedly, it's one of the only pathways that directly connects the outer layer of the walls into the shanty town just outside it. He allows me to go down first, and I step onto the ladder cautiously. Hang on, let me check how far along we are in the script. I'm coming home and I'm on my own. Oh, I could say I like it like that, like it like that. Oh, I could say I like it like that. Calder, like it like that. But nothing is better sometimes. Once we've both said our goodbyes, and let's just let it go. Once we've both said our... Yeah, we are actually a little over half. We're not a little over halfway. We are about 3/4 of the way through the script. After a bit of descending, I feel my feet hit solid ground. What the fuck? A Visual Studio Code. Feel my feet hit solid ground and I move out of the way for the fox. It's not long after I hear the sound of metal shifting that he appears next to me and takes the lead into our tunnel venture. I know you said you were originally here to look for me, but I'm still surprised just how fast you came back to this kingdom. I saw them nearly catch you, you know. Keyword there is nearly. I'll tell you, the wolves get a lot more docile after they leave their walls. I've got some safe houses spread across the continent, so I just head to the nearest one. Every time a job goes south, I end up going to one and wait for the whole thing to blow over. We take a sharp turn and I'm informed by the fox that we're not too far away from the tunnels. So who's this friend we're going to meet? That'd be Grim. He owns a tavern in the old town that I'm taking you to. What's he like? He gets his smarts from being well versed in traveling, loves all things interesting, and wants to learn everything you can about them. You'll get along just fine. He's nice like that. As we continue to walk, my mind flashes back to the old town. Also, thank you for recognizing that song. Like, as we continue to walk, my mind flashes back to the old town.
No, the fuck he's not.
Thinking back, I only had a chance to get a passing glimpse of it when I first arrived. Now that I have a guide, I'm curious to see the full extent of it. We finally make our way out of the tunnel system, and I'm given my first chance to see the homes and buildings of the outer city. They're not overly sized, and some of them certainly have more damage than others. They still seemed fully usable for the residents that wanted to make this area their home, though. Do you get a lot of people who live outside the walls? Yeah, there's quite a lot, to be fair. This town actually circles the entire kingdom, so there's plenty of space to cater to people that want to live away from the crown, but still want that feeling of community. Wow, so this townstead must be quite busy. It certainly has its moments. Say, how long has this friend of yours owned this tavern? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. He and his partner have had that place long before I was born. He lets out a soft chuckle as we round a corner and walk up a more open street. I'm guessing it must be quite the popular tourist area if it's been open for that long. You can call me biased if you'd like, but I'd be inclined to tell you that it's one of the best taverns in the kingdom. Especially given the attitude of the owners, being real friendly to strangers. He shoots me a wink at that last point as we continue to walk the streets, taking turn after turn until we finally reach a well-kept cottage-style building. It's situated in front of an expensive tree line and expensive tree line and immediately stands out from the other buildings that decorate the street. The warm light in the interior of the building acts as a warm welcome as opposed to an attempt to stand out and show off. There she is. Get ready. Oh, the tavern. He looks over at me and smiles as we get closer to the building. I can notably hear the sound of music getting louder and louder with each passing step. Fraser can't help pick up the pace. I watch the fox rush with excitement and quickly try to match his speed. Okay, nice. As we make our way through the door, Fraser shoves it open with a harsh push. I'm home. He shouts sarcastically as we step inside the tavern. There's a few cheers and some hellos from some of the patrons as I see the fox strut in. Behind the counter, I can see a large horse who has just put on a warm smile upon seeing the fox. Fraser, my boy, I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm keeping my fucking mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Fox and a horse, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then you don't want to fucking know. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't want to.
Something stupid is about to happen, I can feel it.
Should I post what came to mind in the server? I'm gonna post what came to mind. I'm posting it in NSFW because it is very NSFW.
Theta be slurping dicks, sorry.
What? I'm going to choose not to respond to that. Fraser, my boy. A loud voice cuts across the room, and within seconds I watch my friend get rushed by a goat? Graham! It took a moment to realize who had run up and grabbed him, but upon feeling the horns pressed on his body, he quickly returned the hug. Oh, so this is... Oh, hello.
Taking in dick like a fish does water.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Oh, hello. The old goat takes a second to glance upon hearing my voice, looking to speak to me. Good gods! He nearly falls over upon seeing me, as I don't think he was expecting it. You're the fellow the guards arrested the other day. I am indeed. Apologies in advance if it causes any startle. He then lets the fox go and pulls him over a portion of the bar, where there are less patrons in earshot. Fraser makes a hand gesture for me to follow them. I do so, ensuring I keep close. Fraser! What's this fellow doing here? I invited him. The human here is actually in need of a bit of help, and I wanted to see if that was something I could provide. Oh, I see. Apologies if I've appeared unwelcoming, human. I've heard through word of mouth you were working with the council. I didn't really know what to think. He's working in exchange for his freedom and to potentially get some help with information gathering. Right, I'm with you now. A classic example of equivalent exchange. But why here exactly? Grim, you and Gilham are some of the smartest and most well-traveled people I know. I figured it would make sense to start with you. The old goat lets out a chuckle. I know, I just wanted to hear you say it. Now then, you two go get set up on the table. I'll bring you around and I'll go over what I know. Fraser laughs and I join in before we shuffle over to a nearby table. We take a seat and wait for our drinks. Someone looks excited. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hide it after hearing that news. I can't stop my leg from bouncing from excitement as I watch the goat talk to the horse behind the bar before slowly carrying over 2 steins. Ugh. Alright, there's an ad. I'm gonna put a hoodie on. Real quick, I'm gonna put a hoodie on. I have like somewhere. Oh, it's over there. Fortnite Battle Pass. Out my ass. Booted up my PC. Cause I need to get that Fortnite Battle Pass. I like Fortnite. Did you mention Fortnite? It's nighttime. It's nighttime. 5 p.m. is 5 p.m. is basically nighttime. Can't stop. Yeah, I already read that. As he sets them down, Fraser wastes no time in knocking back his drink first. I follow his lead and take a swig of mine soon after. We'll end when the conversation starts. Oh, wow, that is good. I'm glad you're enjoying it, lad. That meat is a special creation of ours. He looks down and notices my legs still jittering. I can tell that you're eager to find out what this old goat knows. I've never actually seen one of your kind in person, but the word itself does sound familiar on some strange level. I've traveled to many lands, all with such rich history and folklore. I'm certain that I must have found something somewhere on it. I've documented almost everything I've learned in various books and journals. We're going to leave off here tonight. Oh, shit. I forgot. Let me do that real quick. I forgot. I'm so sorry, Amethyst. I forgot. Okay. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Billy O.T. The winds blew up her bow, dip down, oh blow, my bully boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tugging is done, we'll take our leave and go. Alrighty. Yup. And anyways, I don't even know what I need to do right now. So anyways, stay safe, have a good night. That song is Wellerman, and I will see you all tomorrow.